while all this was happening, the group was given the opportunity to release the single for the Nutty Professor 2, the Clumps soundtrack in the UK. And though they didn't think the song was strong enough to be big enough to be a single, the opportunity was too good to pass up. And unfortunately, Not Even Gonna Trip only hit number 24 in the UK singles chart.
But I'm not even gonna trip about it, worry about it.
Oof. Okay.
Okay.
So it's so interesting because I think when we knew we were going to do this, I just started listening to their discography, right?
Okay.
And this song I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because I'm sure just in the whole context of everything, they just were not very happy. So I'm sure those feelings
Mm,
also are brought back up when they hear the song, when they think of that promotional era, I'm
yes.
sure. Because I think the song's pretty good.
Yes.
It's not amazing,
Mhm.
but it's. Destiny's Child light.
Yeah.
The chorus is catchy. It's not like super, super strong, but it goes in line with where their sound was going.
Yeah.
And
I
I think it,
agree.
it works. There's definitely potential here. Them leaving the kind of cheesy ballad thing and going for this
Yeah.
more like this kind of cooler sound.
Yeah. Needed to happen. It needed to happen.
Uh-huh. But I also am interested into as to why they abandoned Love to Love You Baby after that as well. Because I guess it was just never released. Like it's not even like it was pushed as a single, like just for later because of the soundtrack opportunity. It just
Yeah.
like literally never happened. So that's too
Yeah.
bad.
That's
Yeah.
weird. I
But
mean,
yeah.
why waste all that money? Maybe because I'm an independent artist, but I can't imagine recording a song and not releasing it. I'm sorry. I can't afford that.
Oh,
I could just
well, having worked at the major labels, I can
oh,
tell you that that happens all
quite
the
often.
time.
Yeah, I know. I
Yes.
know. But yeah, it's just again, it's one of those things where I'm like, why you have an indisposable budget, even though you don't. Go off though. I like the direction of the song as well. It's feisty, but it is weird to watch this video for the group because, like, honestly, I don't know how anyone could just watch the video and, like, not be mildly confused. Like I said, shout out to Selena for being evergreen and consistent, but, like, at this point, whoever you heard on a song and then suddenly the face is, like, replaced, and then now you're listening to another song and it's, like, the face you used to know it's so weird. Like, it's oh god, it's a mess. I mean, honestly, I would have gone solo at this point. I don't even know if that was a conversation she could have had with the oh my god.
Apparently, actually, I was listening to one of Selena's interviews.
Yeah.
Nema was offered a solo deal, but Selena was not. And I think this was back when I forget if it was here when Heavenly came back or if it was the first time Heavenly left. But she did mention that.
Ain't that
Yes.
something? Listen, y'all, listen, this is why we need to have Selena on the show again. Y'all,
Yeah.
reach out to her on social media for us. Reach out to the Honeys for us.
Okay, so following the release of Not Even Gonna Trip, the group was hard at work in the studio preparing their second album, which was tentatively titled Harmony. And as you mentioned earlier, Mariam actually did record a lot of it, and they were kind of working on replacing her with Heavenly.
Mm,
Although, if you look at then the next credits for the next few singles, it's like Mariama's kind of there, and then there's some where Heavenly is not there. It's very confusing.
oof.
Anyway, in August 2001, Honeyz released the new single, I Don't Know, which unfortunately only peaked at number 28 and is one of the songs that I believe does have Mariama's vocals on it as well.
I don't know, you don't know, we don't know where we're going, but
What a weird, like, mixture of weirdness. It's
Mhm.
so awkward. Like, I wonder what their contracts look like. Like, if you leave, we get to keep your vocals, but we'll take them off if we feel like it. Like, I don't.
Yeah, because I think once you've recorded it, it
Yeah,
belongs to the label, so they
yeah.
can do whatever they want with it.
This
Yeah.
is very, this is
Yeah.
very true. But it's just so funny because they're like, well, we don't want you on it right now, so we're gonna re-record. You know what I'm saying? Like they pick and choose. Like, we don't have time to keep it. Um, but again, I guess that's just a testament to like it's a good thing that we do have Selena as our lead because she was not she was the one that stayed that was singing the leads. If she left, then maybe like it would have been like, oh crap, we have to replace the whole thing. But the other ones, not calling them the other ones because I don't care about them, but that's how they were treated. The other ones, replaceable. Just speaking about the song though, Shasta Lewis's mark on UK pop is so real. That spoken intro was so never ever. The top line of the song isn't terrible, but like the the whole guitar-driven R&B thing was just overplayed for them. Like, it was, like, kind of just flirting with the idea of being R&B, honestly, with these ballads, but let's just call it what it is, like, a R&B thing. Like, for all the trend hopping that this label was doing for them, I feel like the Sound Minds remix version would have been so much of a better option because, again, the top line is good. It's good enough for me to listen to and be like, "Okay, I wanna sing along to this." It's just sometimes the production is just it's for the snails. Sometimes it's for the snails. And if you don't know what that means either too slow or boring. But it's just for the snails. And I was like, they deserve something better. And that remix I mentioned was one of those. The
Yeah.
B side, Why You Wanna Allow Me, was interesting. Like
Mm.
it just sounds like Agrabah. It was a little bit cooler. I just feel like the label was playing with the girls. It's sonically different. You can hear the other girls singing. It could have been a better single.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like probably the failure of Not Even Gonna Trip probably freaked everyone out, and they were
Mhm.
like, "Oh gosh, bring them back to the mid-tempo, cheesy stuff that they had charted better," right?
Yeah.
That's at least what this feels like.
Mm.
And I think you're right with the Sound Minds remix because Selena also said that I guess the
Mm.
original version that they had recorded was much cooler, and then when they heard the final one, they were like, "What is this?" Basically, and I think people, at least fans, were guessing that the original version was closer to the sound. If it wasn't the Sound Minds version, it was closer to the Sound Minds version,
Mm-mm.
which I agree. It has like a UK garage thing going on.
Yeah.
Way cooler, because again, of course, these lyrics are quite cheesy, but that having that kind of industrial sound just makes it so much more interesting. So yeah, I'm definitely not surprised that this flopped. I think even taking out the context of everything going on, like the fact that
Mhm.
they were coming off a single that did not perform well, and there was all this like, lineup drama.
Yeah.
The song itself is just okay. Like I do think it's their worst single. Like just listening through everything, it just does not stand out at all. I think it's just a
Yeah.
weird choice.
Yeah, not great,
Yeah.
not great, not the best. Not
Yeah.
best. Oh goodness. That's what happens.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
with the chart positions failing to impress their label and unresolved tensions between the members of the group, they knew that their future was in jeopardy. They planned to release the single Talk to the Hand in November 2001, with a music video even being circulated to all the major music channels. However, the single was never released, and Mercury Records dropped the group and 86th the album. Following the departure from management, the group officially split in 2003.
Talk to the hand, the face ain't listening.
Wow, that was quickly came and quickly went. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Like,
Yeah, man.
first off, let's just
Mm.
talk about Talk to the Hand because Talk to the Hand is so good. It's so
Yeah.
good.
It's so annoying.
Like, and this goes back to kind of what you were saying. It's like, why did they spend all this money making the music video and starting the promotions and then just not even release the song? Like, just as a fan, I would be so mad. Like, you did all this and we've already heard it, so just give us the song. Like, even if you're gonna
Oh.
split them up, at least give us the last song, you know?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I assume, I mean, yeah, unless manufacturing back then was like super quick, like
Mm.
that's kind of crazy if they didn't already, start printing these single CDs,
Yep.
these CD singles anyway. But maybe they just knew it was gonna flop, so they just wanted to kind of stop it before it happened.
Ye I
Maybe.
guess they were like, "You know what? It's better to drop them than to keep them."
Yeah.
Like,
I guess. But yeah,
oh,
it is a shame. I think the song is great. It sounds like something like Danny Kane could have released. Because there's a sass to it, but there's also like a juvenile kind of
mm,
um
mm.
like a playfulness to it where it's
Yeah.
also just like kind of stupid,
Yeah, yeah,
but in a
yeah.
good
The
way, in a good
harmonies
way.
help too. The harmonies is what makes it feel very like Danity Kane.
Oh yeah, fun fact. I was
Mm.
looking at the Genius credits,
Come on,
and
genius.
one of the background singers is Miss Heidi Range, who would later join the Sugar Babes.
Another group played with lineup changes. We love that.
Yes.
But no, that's so cool that she actually is credited there.
Yeah.
I think the song came too late. It
It
sucks.
did.
People
It's
have
so good.
yeah,
I've been listening to it a lot.
it sucks that it came out so late. Not the song sucks. I'm sorry, that sentence was weird, but it sucks that the song came out at this point, because it's not fair that people have already checked out on them, like checked out. and then the company is checked out as well. The song is so full, like talk to the hand because the face ain't listening. Between this song and Won't Take It Lying Down, it sounds like Bardot tracks. I'm not sure
Mm.
if anyone listening currently is Bardot fans, but definitely Won't Take It Lying Down sounds like a Bardot track. But this one is just it does also remind me of Danny Kaye now you said it. But yeah, it's just because like Talk to the Hand is just so silly, so juvenile.
Yeah.
And then I think it's fun though. It's still fun.
So
It's
fun.
sassy, it's funky, and the talk box before the bridge, like it could have been a hit in my opinion, but then again, like I live in my mother's basement. But it doesn't mean I don't have ears. I have very good ears, and my ears are telling me this could have been a hit. The remixes are good too, especially the 8 Jam and the Liquid ones.
Yes,
Like
that's a full part 2 too. The vocals are completely different.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yes. Nice point. Yes. And I love the video. The video could have been iconic even, like those mirrors.
Yes.
Hello. It's giving Game of Death. It was giving Try Again before Aaliyah did Try Again. Or maybe they copied it. I don't. I gotta look at the timeline. But the point is, the mirrors were in at the time, baby. Okay? And the men touching, we love that. Girl, Nema was in one guy's skin. I said, girl, you are selling it. I can see, okay, I can see now. And one thing I will say about Nema, even though I can't really identify where her voice is, I can identify her in that dang video. Because one thing she's
Yeah.
not going to do is not give you looks, not give
No.
you presence. So at least she wasn't just a brick on the stage. She
Yes, she
moved.
played her role. She
Hell,
did.
hell
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So,
Oh man, yeah, it just kind of sucks that, they were just kind of dropped with no fanfare. So it sounds like they did just kind of gig a little bit,
yeah.
after they were dropped, but it just never kind of turned into anything. The
Oh,
dynamic would just never healed anyway. So I think
yeah.
everyone was over it. Like you mentioned that the fans weren't really there, that the label was kind of over it, but I feel like just the dynamic was just it
Yeah.
wasn't allowing itself to succeed either.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah.
know what? I'm trying to figure out, like, what was going on. Again, I think at this point we definitely need someone who was George, sweet George, our producer George, honey, what was going on at the time? Because like, oh, the potential was so there. But yeah, shout out to the people who've held on to these music videos and all that stuff like that. Because like the label seems to
Yes.
not give a flying f. So thank you to YouTube and the people who are actually getting this because it could have been lost media. There's so many girl groups that get lost in the shuffle,
Yes.
you know. So
Mm.
yeah, let's keep on going.
Yes. So the unreleased second album, which was tentatively titled Harmony, has mostly leaked onto the internet. And luckily, Talk to the Hand is now available on all streaming services.
So
Let's
excited.
go. Let's go. Yes. Shout out to the fans
Yeah.
who managed to get all their singles on streaming as well, like with all the remixes and stuff. Like,
Word.
I love that they've been doing that for kind of these older legacy artists because
Hmm.
some of these B-sides and stuff and remixes are great. So,
Yes.
yeah, it's
Yes.
good that at least everything's out there.
Honestly, thank goodness, because boy, again, it gets lost in the shuffle, and it's like, oh my gosh, you're
Mm.
never gonna see it again. So thank you to the Drips. That's my name for you guys. So yes, after a couple of years, there are some reunions, which is nice. In January 2005, the original lineup of Selena, Heavenly, and Nema appeared on the ITV singing contest Hit Me Baby One More Time to perform Finally Found in a cover of Nickelback's How You Remind Me. Following this appearance, the group decided to reunite for gigs, but Nema did not want to continue. They recruited Candace, Selena's sister, to complete the lineup. A year later, in 2006, Heavenly left and was yet again replaced by Mariama. The group then continued to perform for a few more years.
Wow.
Whew.
Even after they left the label, that these lineup changes just wow. Okay, well, first talking about Hit Me Baby One More Time,
Yeah.
which after doing some research, because I was like, what is this show? I guess they did actually ask kind of like older artists to come back and sing their biggest hits, and they
Yeah.
also had to perform a more contemporary song. So
Yes.
that's the context.
Yeah.
So it's great that they got this opportunity.
Mm.
I will say the performances were a bit rough vocally,
Mm,
and you could tell, I don't know, you can tell the chemistry still isn't like fully there.
yes.
But it's their first big TV performance in like 5 years,
Mm,
or whatever. So that makes sense. I will say you can hear Nema very, very clearly in the
yes.
finally found harmonies for this one. And of course, she does get a verse in the Nickelback cover, which just a weird choice for them to do that. I mean, maybe they like, rock music, but I just feel like they should have chosen something that maybe would have made them seem a bit more, not necessarily just like viable as a more current act, but maybe someone that would just be more interested in your back catalog so you could just get a few more album sales out of it, you know? Like it was just such a
Something. It was
weird
weird.
choice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
God. You know who's I hate these comeback shows. They're like, I don't hate them, but I hate when the comeback shows like Shaft, the artist that they brought up. Because why is that? I know they have a list of songs they've cleared. Why was that? Why was that the one that y'all chose? Maybe they chose it. Maybe the show chose it for them, but it doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
I have no qualms against Nickelback, but it does not make sense for a girl group to cover a rock band, no matter how popular the freaking song is, unless it's going to be like a whole new like like All Saints
Soulful
cover.
arrangement.
Yeah, like All Saints covering Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, that sounded completely different.
Mhm.
This, no, no, it's not fair. And I love reading the comments because people were shading everyone except Nema. Not saying that Nema doesn't deserve the
Really?
love, but someone was like, I read one of the comments for the Finally Found video where Nema's barely singing, just singing harmonies, and someone was like, the one in the black dress is the best. I was like, dang. Not saying that she didn't look good, because again, what she's not going to do is play herself. She looks good, but it's just like, I mean, I heard Selena's sour note, and I get it. You're probably just like, I need a saving grace. But I was like, not the one in the black dress. Dang. That means somebody who did not know who this group was still managed. That would piss me off. God dang it. Ooh, that would make me mad too. But
Oof.
again, Nickelback was
Yeah.
not a choice. There's so many other pop songs they could have done at this point. It's 2000 and freaking, it's 2000 something, right?
2005, yeah.
Yes, it's 2005. It's how many songs have passed and you picked this one? You couldn't even sing "Hit Me Baby One More Time" at this point if you want
I
to
mean,
say
you're right. Maybe they only cleared like 3 songs and this is like their only good choice, you know?
a mess.
They're like, you can sing Kelly Clarkson or
Oh
you
yeah,
can
right,
sing
right,
Nicola.
right.
And they're like, Oh man. Okay, so in an interview with Digital Spy in 2009, Selena insisted that there was zero chance of Honeyz getting back together. However, in October 2012, Honeyz joined the big reunion show with Atomic Kitten, Liberty X, Bewitched, 5, 911, and Blue.
Mhm.
And since Nema did not want to return, the group debuted a new lineup with Heavenly and Mariama being the lineup together for the very first time. So the
Yes.
documentary series allowed the group a chance to discuss everything that happened over the years, and they also got to perform together at the Hammersmith Apollo and on the Big Reunion Arena Tour. Following the tour, the group teased new material, including a song called The Price You Pay, but it was never ultimately released.
Mm,
And in July 2014, Heavenly decided to quit again, and Selena and Mariama continued performing as a duo.
okay.
So we
Okay.
actually watched the big reunion concert
Yes.
together.
Yes, we did. What a fun
Yes.
ride.
Yes. Yes. So what did you think of their appearance?
Can I tell you, beyond the singing, the reunion meetup was so awkward because like you have Mariama like, honey, I had nothing to do with nothing. And then Heavenly and Selena talking it out, and Mariama's just sitting there like, mm. You know, what can she say and do? Because let's be
Yeah.
real here, out of everyone that we know of, no one's complained about her.
No.
No one's complained about her. No one has any issues with her except maybe Nema, but she didn't really like, come out and like sully anyone else's name. I mean, she could have. That girl has seen some things, I'm pretty sure. Because for her to stay that long too, I can only imagine what she's been through, right?
Hmm.
So I'm glad Heavenly and Selena were able to like talk their issues out, but it was kind of heartbreaking because Selena had mentioned like now I have kids. Like the stakes are different. Like you doing this in and out kind of dip, dive, duck, dodge situation is not okay because it's like I have people to support. So I was like, oof. But watching the performances were interesting. They only get like what 2 weeks to do all this, right?
Yeah.
So for what they had, I respected ish. It's so funny, just not funny, just interesting to kind of see the way how years have treated them because the one who was singing the most, obviously the pressure's high for her because she is singing the most.
Mm.
But she didn't keep up with her vocals,
Yeah.
at the time. Obviously now, like, she's been singing and performing, so she obviously there's probably more of like a need and a understand like, hey, I need to keep doing this because at any point in time, I need to step up as the lead singer as this group. But you could tell that time had passed, and she was living her life, and it wasn't as fluid as it had been in the past, right? Which is not terrible because she's one of the few people on Top of the Pops who's like, turn my mic on. So
Yeah.
Heavenly was hilarious. She was giving me auntie vibes the whole time, but I'm living for her. She was happy to be there. It was fun to watch. Um, it wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be. Not as painful as Hit Me Baby. I will say that.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
Oof,
Yeah. I mean, I think this lineup is actually
the
great,
best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Naima, but
Sorry,
it's true. Like, I think hearing the vocal dynamic and, Mariama got to sing a verse on Finally Found.
yes.
Her and Heavenly did the bridge of Won't Take It Lying Down.
Mhm.
It's nice. It does add to the song when you get a few different kind of vocal textures and tones
Yeah.
in there. And Mariama is a star.
Yeah.
She left and became a midwife, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she came back and she killed this performance.
Yeah.
Like the vocals were on point with
Mhm.
every song, and those dance routines looked very natural when
Yes.
she did them.
Yeah.
So yeah, have to shout her out. I thought she did an amazing job, and it's so funny looking back because she was literally only there for 2 singles. I
Oh
mean,
my
yes, she
gosh.
recorded more,
Yeah,
obviously, but
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
it's
my
so
gosh.
funny.
Wow.
And I just really feel for Selena, like, because I
Yeah.
think I would be the Selena
Of a group, yeah, I'd
in
be a
a group.
Mariama. Like, I'm in here, but if I feel something's
Yeah, you're
off,
like, I'm unhappy, I'm leaving. Yeah.
yeah, not just like, "I want a man." No
I
offense to
have
Heavenly, but
loyalty problems sometimes, which I feel like it's not as bad now that I'm older. But when I
right.
was younger,
Mm.
I
To
definitely
a fault,
felt
right?
loyalty. Yeah, to a
Yeah.
fault. I felt loyalty was like such an important value, and I would like sacrifice my own happiness for that loyalty sometimes.
Right.
And so
Oh.
I just feel for Selena just like in my soul because I would totally be her and just hearing about this whole experience of her just trying to keep this group together and all these opportunities that she lost and just the
Oh.
potential that was there. And then she gets,
Ugh.
this
Yeah.
opportunity to kind of do it again
Yes.
and do it kind of on her terms and just have fun singing the songs
Yes.
from your discography. So I think I just really feel for her.
Yeah, she deserved that moment for sure. I'm glad it was,
Yes.
kinda just probably lit a fire underneath her.
Mhm.
But yeah, it
And,
sucks.
Heavenly, yeah, she just looked very happy being
Yes.
there.
Yes.
She definitely does not have much loyalty, clearly, because,
No.
then she left again like a few years later. I was reading about it a bit more though, and people said she didn't actually live in the UK. She lived in Portugal. So,
Mhm.
and
That
of
she had
course they were
RA, apparently.
and she what?
She has rheumatoid arthritis, apparently.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
some other thing, but I
There are
think
other factors. There are other factors, and
yes,
plus,
yes.
if they're talking about new music, but they're independent, and that's money you have to put forward, maybe she just didn't feel comfortable about that. But it does
Mhm.
sound like she didn't. Again, the communication was not good
Mm,
because apparently she didn't leave on good terms.
right, right,
Yeah.
right.
So it was just it happened again.
Oh god. Oh, yep, and
Yeah.
my butt again, I'm a Mariama. I'll come back if the conditions are good. Like, I'm a
Yeah.
comebacker. I'm a comebacker to a fault. I
Oh
return.
gosh, that's so funny. Okay, so in November 2015, Selena and Mariama released their first new single in more than a decade, Definitely Something, which they also added to their set lists for their gigs.
And if it's good, it means nothing. And if it hurts, it's definitely something.
Mm.
So apparently, and again, I read this just like on a forum somewhere, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but apparently they were supposed to actually record this with Heavenly, and she just
Ooh.
like didn't show up to the studio.
Ooh, Jesus. I'm sorry. Not again.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not that type. I'm not that type. Like,
Right.
I'll stick it out with people, even if I'm like, "This is like a sinking ship."
You'll fulfill your commitments.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, I'm a pirate to the end. Dude, what the heck?
Yeah. So that's why I guess the release was delayed. And
Yeah.
then I don't know what their like promotional plans and stuff were, but I guess it just didn't do what they wanted it to do, like
Mm.
commercially. So yeah. So what do you think of Definitely Something? Because it's definitely
Something.
Something.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like it's a little out of their wheelhouse in terms of like what they sound like. And it just sounds like it was chasing the trend of songs. It's not bad, the song itself, but it's not like wow. The production is
Mhm.
good, but they're not known for this.
Right.
So it just feels like, I don't like that. It's like, whoa. It's so frustrating because
It's a
it's
bit bizarre.
yeah,
It's
it's
a
a
bit
little
bizarre because it is just like, what made you all think that a dance song would be the right move?
that's not your bag. I'm not saying you can't do it, but you know what? You could have done like a UK garage. You could have done a dance-y kind of track that tied more into what was happening with your country's
Mhm.
version of dance, not like the whole like the DJ apocalypse that happened during this time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, I guess I thought that'd be like the right thing to do because the DJ apocalypse was what was happening. I'm
Yeah.
not saying the DJ apocalypse is terrible. I love going to a nice little rave here and there, EDM, boop, 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 boots, ns, ns. But after a while, it's like, this is not helping them. They're gonna get thrown into the shuffle of other EDM boots and cats beats. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
the the vocal distribution of the song is way better though. Like
Oh, yeah.
I love hearing two different tones. Like give Selena a break. Not only that, but like let the listener hear somebody else in the group. Otherwise, just go
Yeah.
solo.
I mean, they also sound great too.
They do.
Like,
They sound
I'm not taking anything away from their execution. They sang it really well. I
yes.
just don't really get it just business-wise, like, why they thought this
Yeah,
was the right
that
thing
was
to do.
it. Hmm.
Yeah.
That made no sense. No sense whatsoever. But you know what? It's good that those 2 made the songs together because obviously you can tell who could not like not saying Nema could not sing and Heavenly could not sing as well. But considering that those 2 were the ones, Selena and Mariama, that were they're the ones that were shouting out a little bit more now, especially in the latter half of their career. It's good that they had the 2 songs together and then they decided to perform together because obviously they're both still singing. Even when you saw them, they were singing. So it's good
Mhm.
that it was those 2 and not Nema because she really wasn't really present on the verses or anything other than sub vocal. So I think it worked out in its own way,
Yeah.
and allowed for more, like you said, sonic depth in their discography.
Mhm.
So yeah, over the past decade, like we mentioned, Selena and Mariama continue to do gigs around the UK and also appeared on various television shows. The members also took part in a few competitions, with Selena auditioning for Britain's Got Talent with her MJ impersonator partner, and most recently, Mariama auditioning for The Voice UK.
Yes, so in the summer of 2023, the duo got in touch with Heavenly yet again,
Stop.
and they teased upcoming plans for the 25th anniversary. And Selena did note that she had reached out to Nema, but she was uninterested in joining the reunion. And in October 2024, fans were very surprised
Mm,
when Honeyz announced that the group's lineup had changed yet again, with Mariama leaving and Selena's sister, Candice, now known as Candy, rejoining, making the lineup Selena, Candy, and Heavenly. And the group has since performed at various gigs and have teased more activities in 2025, including performing with a live band and new music.
mhm.
Mm,
Yep.
yeah.
My
That was
response
a
oh,
lot.
no, it's fine, but my response to all of this is always gonna be, "Mhm." So, quick little update on Naima. She
Mm,
is on Instagram, if you guys are looking
okay.
for her. She's living her life, she's living very peacefully. She considers herself a co-founder of the girl group Honeyz and has listed her last her last year with them as 2005. So she is a mother as well now. She's living her life, minding her business, drinking her water, and minding her business. She's living her life. Okay, guys. So she's fine. I can understand her not wanting to come back because eventually, like, if word comes back to me that y'all didn't really appreciate my presence and I was creating issues and apparently I messed around and was flirting with someone's boyfriend, I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to come back either because either the dynamic's going to be one of those like awkward thing where someone else leaves and it's going to be my fault again, or y'all are going to make me feel like I shouldn't be there. So it's not worth it just for the sake of optics. So respect on her decision. I'm not saying that that was their intention, but considering the track record with the ins and outs, it seems like a viable option. Um, shout out to the rest of the members trying to make it work. I can understand Mariama being like, "Hey, listen, this is not working for me," because like at this point, it is kind of like a reboot. Like, you know, the movie reboots. It's like, okay, stop with the reboots. We don't need a live action of this movie. That's what it's giving now. Like at first it was a cute little, you know, Saturday morning cartoon, but now it's a live action movie that is just taking too much of a form that I don't think she wants to be a part of. And I can't say that I blame her because again, I don't think the dynamics are suitable for just her more than just her and Selena. I
Mm.
feel like the two of them worked because the
Mm.
two of them sang or whatever. Now with Heavenly, I don't know if she's singing as much. With Candy, I know that Candy and Selena had like a little bit of a duo thing going on when Selena went solo. So I guess that makes sense. Like if anything should happen to Heavenly, then at least Selena has Candy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
Yeah. I mean,
it,
shout out to Candy because she's also been in various iterations,
oh
just,
my gosh.
filling in for gigs and
That's
stuff.
oh, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to get thrown in that situation. So I'm not like, you know, trying to be mean to anybody, but it is the dynamic is not great in the group and I can understand Mariama not wanting to come back. I understand now that Selena has a little bit of a safety net in her sister as well. 'Cause that's
Mm.
family unless something crazy happens. And in Heavenly, she can come and go as she pleases with the understanding that, hey, listen, I'm an older woman now and I do have RA. So if I do leave everyone, you'll know what it is. But for now, I'm excited to be here. I'm willing to participate. Don't know what the elements were
Right.
that made her stay, but she's willing to be in it now. I think they look good as a trio.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I'm curious to hear what it's gonna sound like. Cause like
Yeah.
either it's gonna sound like karaoke AC music, like you know, like where they're kind of phoning in the like think
Hmm.
about Rocket by In Vogue. That's one of their worst freaking songs.
Oh Lord.
It's
Yes.
terrible.
It is
You know what I'm
terrible.
saying? Like, I'm hoping it's not like that. Love y'all, but that
Uh
sounds
huh.
terrible. Um, I'm hoping it's not like that. So, I hope things are good.
Hmm.
It just sucks that again, they're unsung. Like, it just sucks that they didn't really reach their full potential for sure.
Yeah. Well, I guess going back to kind of the duo lineup, as you
Mhm,
mentioned, I did see Selena and Mariama perform
mhm.
as a duo, and they did do, a couple tracks, and it was good. They did balance out the vocals a bit more.
Yeah,
Like Mariama sang more of the verses and stuff,
yeah.
which was good. Um, and looking at the voice again, I read this just on a
Oof.
fan thing, but I don't know how true this is. But
Um,
apparently, there are rumors that Selena had no idea that Mariama was auditioning for The Voice until their crew just kind of showed up to shoot like B-roll at their gig. And I guess after that,
mm,
you could kind of tell that their relationship was strained. So that may
mm,
be another layer as to why Mariama
ooh.
is no longer in it.
Thanks for that insight. Wow.
But going back to what you were saying, it's also possible, I think, is Mariama still a practicing midwife? Because if she is,
She might be.
yeah, maybe she was happy doing like these random pride gigs and, nostalgia gigs every
Mm,
once in a while, but
right.
maybe their plans for next year are more robust than that. And it's just something that she cannot commit to. That's totally possible too. Right. Because if it's going to be this whole 25th anniversary thing where they're going to do a bit more,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
maybe Mariama just doesn't have the time for that.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I just, you know what? Good for Selena for, putting her trust in Heavenly again. Because I
Yeah.
think if it were me, I don't think I could ever trust her enough to make any commitments with her again after
Yeah.
all of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but,
It's
I
maybe the
assume this was discussed
I was about
and,
to say, yeah.
she's here for whatever they've at least agreed to,
Mhm.
at
Yes.
this point.
Oh, man.
Um, and yeah, they put up some clips of this new lineup performing,
Yes.
and it looks fun. They performed "Not Even Gonna Trip," I guess, for the first time since
Oh,
it
yeah.
was released. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, they teased, like I mentioned, a live band, like rehearsing with a live band, which
Mhm.
we love.
Yeah.
So I assume if they have that, that there's a lot more coming.
Yeah, yeah, they seem to have
So
some things planned up and lined up, which is good.
yeah,
It
so
should be
that's exciting.
interesting. Yeah,
I
some
mean, I do hope that because this kind of like nostalgic R&B 90s thing is obviously so trendy right now.
yes,
So they should totally just lean into it.
I was about to
Just lean
say.
into that. Yeah.
Capitalize for sure, for sure.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, wasn't, Selena and Mariama's, like, last performance, like, was, like, this summer or they canceled it?
Yeah, it was like a few months ago.
Oh, interesting. So she
Yeah.
auditioned for The Voice, and they kinda, like, did, like, that last hoorah thing, and then
Yeah, they had a few more commitments, I guess, after The Voice.
oop.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, well that's awkward. Okay, well, I
Like
think
sounded like Donald Duck.
I was
Also, though, speaking of the voice, actually, Mariama sounded very good
yeah,
in
she
her
did.
audition. I was quite impressed, actually.
Yes, same,
Yes.
same. She's
Yes.
again, she's got it.
Yeah.
You hear it. But yes, it's unfortunate that the Honeys didn't really lean into I feel like their name was just slept on. Like you're called the Honeys, like give me hottie at energy,
Yeah.
but unfortunately like their music was giving sweeties,
Right. That's
which
the
is
thing.
so
Because
like
they visually looked like what you'd want the Honeys
to
to
look like.
do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God. Hopefully they get if y'all gonna come back, look at me. If y'all gonna look at me, if you gonna come back, Honeys, you better give us something hot, honey. Give us something hot. And also the sound, the UK garage sound is hot right now too. Like tap into the sounds that you guys could have tapped into, I don't know how many years ago.
Hmm.
And let's make it work. Let's make it work. Okay.
Honestly, re-record that "Love to Love You" baby cover and release that.
How
I'm
much
here
is
for
that
that.
clearance? How much
I don't
was
know.
oh my God. Very ambitious, but respect. He's right. He's right. Okay, guys.
Oh man. Okay, so we've
Yeah.
caught up to where we are now in December 2024.
Yes.
So let's see what happens next. We'll definitely keep an eye out on what the Honeys are up to. And
Yeah.
we're here for it for sure. So before we dismiss you all from class, it is time for our discography highlights.
Yeah.
So this is where we like to highlight, a B-side or an album track that maybe the general public does not know as well. And so first up from our producer, George, who, as we mentioned earlier, did request Honeys as our episode topic. He would love to highlight the song Just As I Am, which is a track from the unreleased second album, Harmony.
Just as I am, I give myself to you.
He says it's a beautiful ballad, and Selena has also mentioned it as one of her favorites and one that she wishes was a single.
All right. So for me, I like Good Love.
It's so hard to find.
I feel like them going in that like almost American R&B direction was good because again they look like a bunch of hot honeys like so frustrating, but yeah, this song it was a good one to me. I feel like vocally it sounds really good, the way it was mixed was good, it just sounds like something I'm used to, and I think it would have been a better option because yes, R&B does have ballads, and I feel like
Hmm.
they should have leaned into that a little bit more as they got a little bit older, or at least older, quote unquote, as a group as time
Yes.
passed.
Yeah,
Wasted
that's a
potential.
good one. That one does remind me of En Vogue
Mm-hmm.
with kind of the soulfulness of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, so my choice is Why You Wanna Lie on Me, which
Yes.
was the B-side of I Don't Know.
Me, did you say you wait for me? Said you love me endlessly.
It's so good. The
It
song,
is.
I cannot believe they even had it just as a B-side. Like this could have totally been a single for their second album. It could have launched
Wild.
the second album. I
Wild,
was
yes.
so surprised when I heard it
Yeah.
because I just kind of shuffled their whole discography, so I didn't know what was on what.
Yes.
And so when I saw that it was just a B-side, I was like, "What? Like, are you
Weird.
serious?" But yeah,
So
it's
good.
so cool. It's got the American R&B thing going on in the verses, and then it turns into like a UK garage bop for the chorus. So yeah, definitely one that just stood out to me a lot, and I really, really like it. Like, I will for sure keep this on the playlists.
Yeah, so when I come up to
Yeah.
your house, I'm like, oh my God, I know this one.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. If you are still here, I'm going to ask that you let us know what your favorite discography highlight song from Honeyz is. If you have multiple, let us know as well, because obviously if you're a fan, or even if you're not a fan, you've learned about them, they're interesting, they've had so much potential, and they deserve the listen. So definitely drop those in the comments below. All right. But yeah, we are done. Class is dismissed.
So let us know what you think of Honeyz, and let us know which artists you'd like to hear us do a Pop 101 class about. The list is very long, but we would love to keep adding to it. And if you want priority choice, you can join us on Patreon, and you also get exclusive content. You can also message us and join us at CCTV Pops on all social media. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for our channel. And if you're enjoying the show, give us a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. Until next time, that's Chantel.
That's Chris.
And we're signing off from CCTV, the Non-Stop Pop Show.